Come on, Mark. We're late for the red carpet. Wait, what are you wearing?
Well, the invitation said formal dress.
Formal dress means a tuxedo, not a formal dress.
Hey, can you slow down? I can't keep up on these heels.
And why did you go with sleeveless and low cut? You're pretty hairy.
That's not your mother, it's a man, baby!
Live from Fox River Grove, Illinois, the Nargi ski capital of the Midwest, and the iconic halls of the Way Sound Studios, it's the 2024 Best of Foreign Film Fans Awards. With your host, Bob Baker and Mark Chandler. Special guest, Alonzo Duralde. Music provided by the Jake Fontana Sound Machine. Tonight's show is sponsored by Bun Stackers. No seat is too tight when we tighten your seat. And Regurgipats, the baby-safe, hypoallergenic food rejection collection system. Because what Tots spit up can feed your pup.
The following podcast contains graphic descriptions of international celebrating and global merrymaking. It may not be suitable for angry or unhappy audience members. Listener discretion is advised. You've been warned.
Have you ever seen any of those foreign films? I don't like them.
Some are born great, others achieve greatness, and some watch Christmas movies.
We are the wild and crazy guys.
Well, they're both festive, aren't they?
And we are the Festive Foreign Film Fans. Well, happy anniversary, Mark.
Happy anniversary, Bob. Where's my gift?
Mark, it's parked outside.
Ooh.
Santa sleigh.
Nice.
Well, as I have said, we are so dressed up. Look at us. I mean, the buzz for tonight's awards is so very exciting. I can't contain myself. I mean, could you believe that gauntlet on the red carpet?
It was unbelievable. You know what? Guillermo from Jimmy Kimmel, we did a shot together.
And you didn't save one for me?
No.
I think you just got it because you're in the nicest dress out there. Those paparazzi, they're all vultures. I mean, I haven't been photographed like that since I was at prom. But I wasn't sure that they still made tuxedos in red and green, but with this tartan plaid and matching kilt, my new Scottish roots are showing. Luckily, nothing else is showing, so that's good. But I must say that I'm pretty proud of myself. I tied my own bow tie, and it's red velvet. Along with your evening wear and my tuxedo, I must say, we're looking pretty snazzy.
I know it wouldn't be an award show if there weren't two old paunchy guys with glamorous women draped on their arms, but our beautiful eyes... They stood us up, Bob.
No.
So instead, I got you, Bob. But you know what? I'm happy. I am still happy.
And we make a smashing couple.
I always thought so. But we're here tonight to celebrate our first anniversary and present our 4F favorites. I hope you're up for the task. On a positive note, we did not have to watch a movie for this show. And, we won't have any tortured mispronunciations, embarrassing guffaws. Oh, no. Or we hope we don't have embarrassing guffaws.
I think we already started with a few, but
that's okay. But we've selected our top 5 choices on different topics that we cover each episode. Movies, music, customs, food and drink, and quotes. Now, we made our picks separately and have created our own lists without comparing or doing any consultation. I mean, it's like, these have been sealed by the accounting firm of...
Pricewaterhouse?
Sure. I was going to say Dunder Mifflin.
Okay.
I'm sure we're going to have some difficult duplicates or maybe none at all. I was telling Bob that I work with a couple actuaries and they've predicted that we'll come up with 64% matches. So we'll see if that's true.
Wow.
But we've been collecting votes from our audience too over the past month. I know some have emailed and left messages about what they have found to be most interesting. And we'll be presenting those results on our social media. Similar to the Oscars, we are going to save the best movie choices for last. And we are not going to have Al Pacino read the winner. But first up, we have our quotes. Are you ready?
Hi, this is Jack from the Total Christmas Podcast, and I want to wish my mates Rob and Martin a fantastic 1 year anniversary for being so good on their show, the Fantastic Films at Christmas from Overseas podcast. Well done on doing what you do so well for the last 12 months. I'll try and make sure that I listen to an episode at some point, but I'm sure it's great. And happy birthday again to Richard and Harry. No, Brian. Sorry. Hang on, I've got it written down somewhere. Oh, Bob and Mark. I was close. Great work, guys. Great work.
Perfect quote, best quote I could ever ask for.
Number 5.
We all know that life can be challenging, but sometimes the perfect quote can lift our spirits and provide inspiration. Mark, we often get caught up in our own lives and problems, so we lose sight of the bigger picture. Thus, a few well-chosen words can resonate and speak directly to our hearts and minds. They remind us to think more broadly and to see things from a different perspective. And this is a reason why I think we like to close our shows with a quote. It's just a turn of a phrase, but the right quote will offer us hope and comfort by putting into words what we might feel, but we struggle to say ourselves.
Aww.
So, here we go. For my number 5 pick, quote is, I truly believe that if we keep telling the Christmas story, singing the Christmas songs, and living the Christmas spirit, we can bring joy and happiness and peace to this world. That was a quote by Norman Vincent Peale, and I like it because I think that is a motivation for a year-round Christmas podcast.
I agree. It's very, very nice. My number 5 is, hello, hope. Goodbye, sorrow. Every day is a gift to us. And that was from the Turkish movie Nasali Hayat. And that was actually the words from the song that was in the movie. And, I agree with your opening comments about we end the show to try to sort of, because we usually have a lot of fun and we've certainly made fun of ourselves. But I think it's a nice way to end the show. And I think this is a nice quote to get us started to say, hope. I always believe in hope, and that's why I picked this one.
Although I still think you should have sung it. It was originally sung. I think you should have sung it. I'll take that up with the judges later, but
shoot.
Okay, number 4 for me.
Number 4.
And that, of course, is the message of Christmas. We are never alone. Not when the night is darkest, the wind coldest, the world seemingly most indifferent. That's a quote by Taylor Caldwell, and I say that's an aspirational quote of what Christmas should be. Maybe it's not what it is, but we should all aspire for what that is what it should be.
I like it. Well, my number 4 is from the movie Kisses, and it was this. It was the light of the Christmas star to you, the warmth of home and hearth to you, the charm and wall of friends to you, the hope of a childlike heart to you, the joy of 1,000 angels to you, the love of the Son and God, peace to you. And I just thought it was just a nice blessing, a nice thing to say to someone. You know, I always, in my Irish heritage, right, obviously influenced me, but it always seems like they have a nice little blessing to go along with every holiday or every event.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's an Irish blessing. That's how it sounded. That's how it read. That was great. Okay, number 3.
Number 3 will shock you.
Christmas for me is not a time for presents, but a time for a genuine desire for goodness to flood the world and wash away its pains. This was by Greg Wise, and I say, this should be the motto for our podcast.
I love it. I love it. My number 3 was your number 4. And that, of course, is the message of Christmas. We are never alone, not when the night is darkest, the wind coldest, and the world seemingly most indifferent, by Tyler Caldwell. So that's our first one we sort of crossed over. But it is, I mean, when you read that, though, you do feel a sense of warmth and a sense of calm. So
and that's the way you want Christmas to be, right?
Right.
And did you notice all the actuarial scrolling right there, like with their pencils?
Exactly.
First one, repeat.
Yep.
Okay, number 2. Get with the buildup is coming.
Number 2.
Nothing ever seems too bad, too hard, or too sad when you've got a Christmas tree in the living room. All those presents under it, all that anticipation, just a way of saying there's always light and hope in the world. And I thought, now this is a good statement, a really true statement of how Christmas itself can change our perspectives and the way it lifts our spirit.
Yeah, it actually creates a little bit of a setting, isn't it? When
Yes.
you close your eyes and you listen to that, you're sort of imagining that tree and the setting. So it's well done. And this was so hard. I mean, we're going to sort of talk about it. Like, it's like, you know, how do you pick your favorite child?
That's exactly right.
I know I was never picked, but all right.
I was booted out.
My number 2, because you're alive and the world is big, you should be feeling some freaking Christmas spirit. I love the bluntness of it, right? Like, it's given perspective. The world is big, but come on, it's the snow is falling. Just have some freaking spirit.
Okay. I need the Jake sound machine for a drum roll. Here we go.
Number 1.
My number 1 quote is, "The best way to spread holiday cheer is to be the joy and kindness that you wish to see in the world." That was an anonymous quote, but I think I picked it for number 1 because it's the theme that we should all try to live by.
It's very good. And I guess I forgot to say that the number 2 quote of mine was by Anna White, just in case Anna's listening. I apologize.
She's out in the audience, Mark.
Sorry, Anna. So my number 1, and it was so hard, but is a quote by Tony Sorensen. "This is the time of year when we forget our differences and focus on the fact that we are all belong to the same race, the human race."
Mark, isn't this what I agree with you? This was so difficult to pick, like you said, like picking amongst your children. But look, we picked out of 10, we had 1 that crossed over. The rest were all, and they were all very good and very meaningful.
Well, when you were reading that, I think you're number 2, or number 3, I'm like, I don't remember that quote. Did I? I was looking at like, I don't remember. Did we say that one? So yeah, it very difficult.
Oh yeah, the anonymous one. I just made it up myself tonight.
That's our quotes. Should we think about food and drink?
We should absolutely think about food and drink.
Hey, Mark and Bob. It's Ashley from the Magic of the Season podcast. I just wanted to say happy 1-year Christmas podcasting. You guys have published 21 episodes and a few promos in your trip around the sun. And that's quite a bit of content if you ask me. But congrats, and I can't wait to see what your second year brings you. Good luck and happy podcasting, guys. Now, grab your hot cocoa, get cozy, because it's story time.
Well, at least we've got plenty of food and drink.
Well, food and drink play a central role in so many of our holiday festivals. Celebrating food and drink has deep roots in our history and culture. It plays a vital and memorable role in making our special occasions, whether it is the actual dinner or a cherished family recipe or a seasonal treat. Holiday food and drink doesn't just nourish our body, but it does feed our souls. Sharing a meal with loved ones is a ritual and a way to bond and create memories. These traditions create connections with our past and is a way to express gratitude and appreciation for the people in our lives. Indulging in a holiday food and drink is a guilty pleasure we all secretly love. Plus, it provides an excuse to forego counting calories and watching our waistlines.
And like you said, this one was my really hard one to pick because I wanted all of this stuff. I wanted to eat all of it.
So, I mean, it's so true. It's so true. And I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
Number 5.
So for my number 5.
Oh, I hope you brought in samples of each of your 5 like I did.
Yes, you. I did. Yeah, it's out in Santa's sleigh.
Okay.
So number 5, eating Kentucky Fried Chicken for Christmas dinner in Japan. Like, and I approached this a little bit different than the quotes, because quotes, again, you said it perfectly about emotion but like, I thought when I was reviewing these, what were the ones that like, wow, I didn't know that. Or like, that sounds like it tastes good. And so when we originally covered that, I'm like, oh my God, like that is hilarious that's a tradition. So that's how I kind of went through the process for the food. That, and I asked Sue if she would make everything so I could taste it. No.
But she did send out for Kentucky Fried Chicken.
She did send out, yeah.
The funny thing about that is that I don't have Kentucky Fried Chicken very often, but I'm thinking, there are times when you get it and it hits the spot. And when you were describing it, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I could say that one's not on my list, but now that you say it, my number 5, and I'm not going to go into all the detail we have, but it was the asado. All of the slow grilling meat, it'd be a pig, a lamb, or a goat, seafood, fish, chicken, rabbit, whatever. You had all the meat, and then you had all the sides that were made with mayonnaise in Argentina. You had the vetel thone. You had there was the ox tongue cold appetizer. There was the savory pianos. So you got meat, you got sweet dough, you got mayonnaise filled in beef, boiled eggs, bell peppers, olives. I wanted it all. Slow grilled meat, lots of mayo. What could be better to eat for the holidays?
Excellent. And I think that tongue is called the linguala alla vinaigretta.
Look at you. I feel like I'm sitting across from Google Translate.
So my number 4, are you ready?
Yes.
Number 4.
Is a special feast with traditional native foods. So I found the native foods, the celebration they did. I mean, I love fish, and so it had salmon and walleye and shellfish. I love venison and elk and geese, and so it just had a lot of natural things. Some of the things that I've hunted and fished in my life, so that sort of like tied me to it. And then collard greens and squash. I just absolutely love squash and chilies, and of course nice Pueblo bread. So I mean, it just sounds so homey. It sounds so like
very autumnal.
Comfortable. So that was my number 4.
And I'm sitting here realizing you are enriching yourself with tradition and history in your food selections. I'm just scarfing the stuff down. I realize that's but I do have to admit, so number 4, this one is just a curiosity for me. I wanted those Iceland fried leaf breads, lafabro, because it's a traditional kind of flatbread, but it reminds me of the leaf breads, the lembas bread from Lord of the Rings. So that's why I wanted it. But I did also, and this is 4+, 4S. I want to wash it down with that drink called the Jalalo in Iceland, the one that's the malt drink and the orange
Yes.
soda. Because I just thought, I want to try that malt orange soda combination, and I want those fried sweetbreads because I want to feel like I'm an elf in Lord of the Rings.
Wasn't that the drink where they're like that during the festive holidays? That's the number one drink consumed.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. It was incredible. Okay. Where are we at? Number 3?
4.
We're at 4.
You're at
No.
wait.
No, I'm at 3.
Yeah.
Can we count?
Number 3.
All right, my third one is from Turkey. So Christmas menu Turkey has 20 or more dishes. Do you notice a trend?
Oh,
I
yeah.
want a lot of food. And it's into 2 groups, right? There's the cold ones, usually fresh vegetables and cheeses. And then there's the hot ones that are accompanied by an alcoholic drink called raki and it's like twice distilled grapes, which just sounds incredible. And it also has a mixture of milk and cinnamon and flour. And, just like I think the cheeses and the hots, like it's sort of like 2 different experiences you're going for, and the drinks in between, sort of like intermezzos, they call it. And it just,
Sounds like
so
a whole evening of feasting and drinking. And I guess that explains when I pulled up the catering truck outside.
Can you imagine how much this would cost us if we said, let's try to replicate every single meal every single time?
Okay, fans, you've heard that. We're going to start a GoFundMe. We're gonna have a GoFundMe for our festive foreign film fans feast.
Well, I didn't
the
want
5F.
I didn't want to mention it, but ever since we've been bringing the food in, I think Jake's gotten a little bigger. But who am I to judge, right? I mean, who am I to judge? I mean, I got to look in the mirror before I throw that stone.
Okay, my number 3, and I have to tell you why, but it's the Indian Christmas plum cake. And it had the fermented apples and the cashew nuts and the kadapa almonds, bananas, coca, white pumpkin, orange marmalade, and ghee. But this is it. I know it sounds like an Indian fruit cake. That's probably came from the colonization. That's probably where it came from. But I love spicy foods, and they added all these spices to it, and they added the nutmeg and the cinnamon and the cloves and the shahi zira. So this recipe just sounded appealing to me because of that extra kick.
Love it. Love it. Can't wait to taste it.
Number 2.
Now we have another crossover. So my number 2 was the asado as well. And so I think you covered that really, really well from Argentina. And it just sounds like a lot of good meat and a lot of fried meat with mayonnaise.
Meat.
I mean, as a kid, I had fried bologna sandwiches with mayonnaise. I'm sorry. It's true. Just the amount of food in this. And it was like an all-night event.
Mark, you've gone intercontinental. You've gone from fried bologna to fried.
I'm advancing.
Yes. Okay. So my number 2, and this is number 2, so you might think this seems like a light number 2, but I want to try the jollof rice, the fried rice, and the coconut rice from Nigeria, because I don't really like plain rice. I don't. But I really, really love fried rice, and I love wild rice, like the wild rice you can get up in Minnesota, and that's wonderful. And I thought, I want to try this jollof in coconut rice.
So here's an interesting fact, Bob. This past weekend, I was traveling for a wedding back east. We went out to dinner with Sue and I and her brother and sisters, and I had this seared tuna served on coconut rice. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. So good. I didn't read that. I missed the coconut rice. And so after I ordered it and right before it came, she was like, I didn't know you like coconut rice. And I'm like, I didn't know it either. So I think you're making a good choice. And I'm looking forward to you trying it.
And the good news is you do like coconut rice. You found out, right?
Exactly. It's very good. All right. My number 1.
We're number 1. We're number 1.
Food. It was everything. No, my number. So
I was like, what?
After we went through and we we're looking at this, it's sort of, maybe I'm a little embarrassed to say all my top picks are multiple, things,
giant
right?
meals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
spreads.
Yeah, the traditional Swedish Zolboard, right? It's a smorgasbord, and it's anything that's eaten in rounds, right? Tradition is you eat it in rounds. So it's not just, hey, you come and eat. You actually you eat, you go away, you come back and you eat, but it has fish, pickled herring, lutefisk salmon, right? And then there's other things like cooked brown cabbage, Christmas cheeses, assorted casseroles made of potatoes and pickled sprots and cream. I think they had me at rounds.
I thought they had you at food.
Rounds with food.
Mark, it's very clear here. You like a variety in your meal. You like all over the board. You want some venison,
salmon. I don't know. Smorgasbords. I think during COVID, smorgasbords weren't really frowned upon. Man, I'd just like all you can eat places.
Just make sure they have the sneeze guard, Mark.
Yes.
Okay. For my number one, and
I'm
it's
ready.
funny because it's a dessert, but I am all in on this one. I was thinking about it. I'm like, no matter whether I get 2 through 5, I'm having one. And this is the Danish rassemmeland. That's the rice pudding, the whipped cream, the vanilla, the chopped almonds that you serve it chilled. Then you cover it with thick cherry sauce. It sounds incredibly awesome. I want it all. I'm going to have it all. And I'm going to do the whole game where until someone finds that whole almond, we're eating the whole pot of it.
Wow.
I might even go up in the attic and eat the one that's left out for the little gnome.
The gnome. Wait, was that the gnome? That's right.
Yeah, whatever it was called.
Yeah. Well, that sounds wonderful. Now, don't you think you need a chaser for that, though? What are you going to wash that down with?
Oh, let's see. I know there was the Frexit or something in Argentina. There's been a lot of, we've covered some drinks. We could get the one from Mexico.
That's right.
The pancetta.
Yep.
Noche buena.
Noche buena. Yep. And hey, I also just wanted to go on record too that I did not include the 12 beers of Christmas from Duke's in our list. Duke's, if you're listening, it would have been a great sponsorship opportunity for you, but we'll be back next year. Don't worry.
Mark, you're going to drink all of those 12 beers of Christmas while you're eating all your feasts of your various, international feasts.
I don't think I'd get drunk because I'd be so bloated and full of food.
Hey guys, this is Jerry D from Totally Rad Christmas, wishing you a very merry, happy 1-year anniversary. Congratulations. That's amazing to last 1 year in anything you do, but especially to have as cool a podcast as you guys have. I'm just over the moon for you. So hope to have you all on the show again and can't wait to hear another year's worth of awesome, festive foreign films.
But first, twist, a word from our sponsors.
Oh no, Jackson. Who has the middle seat?
No worries. See, I wore my bun stackers. The flex fit underwear with revolutionary 4D fabric technology. It tightens and shapes, so my tush is no bigger than a head of cabbage.
Does it hurt?
Not at all. The patented formula absorbs excess fat and water, causing the shrink. Plus, it's eco-friendly and biodegradable.
Well, how do you reverse it?
Soak in a bath for about 30 minutes and everything is back to normal.
Everything?
Of course. Now, do you want to share my seat? Bun Stackers. No buts about it. Available online in all fine retailers.
We have many customs and traditions to keep our culture alive.
Well, we've done the food. Now that we've eaten, let's go out and have some fun. And these are the customs and traditions that we discussed, our favorites from the episodes that we covered. Now, most families have holiday traditions, right? Even when we grow up and we start our own families, we will usually include some of the older customs that we brought from childhood along with our new ones. So these traditions are an essential part of how we celebrate. These activities add meaning to our celebrations, and they provide us with the joy of the season. What is unique is how these rituals have survived since the dawn of man. We went back, remember, and I think we found the earliest recorded Christmas celebrations were from the year 300.
Right.
So celebrating has been around for as long as recorded history because it builds strong bonds between families and provides a sense of belonging. We can publicly express what is important to us as individuals, as a family, or together as a society. Traditions nurture our spirit and keep alive memories of the past while offering a connection for us to share with the next generation. And that, I think you're specifically seeing with your grandchildren. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you're taking the
absolutely.
traditions that you had, you remember as a child, and passing them on to, that second generation now. And so customs and traditions, how fun.
Number 5.
5.
So my number 5 favorite custom is we're going to Finland, and it's that tradition where you dress like a goat with like a fur jacket, a leather mask, some horns, and you go around begging for Christmas feast leftovers and alcoholic beverages, because I just love the concept of dressing like a goat and going door to door and begging for alcohol. This, to me, sounds like fun.
Absolutely, it does. I think we talked about we're doing that next year. My number 5, and again, going back and to so many, but again, trying to think like, what is festive? What is fun, right? What is the meaning and stuff for the holiday? But I just kept coming back to this one from Turkey, wearing red clothes and gifting each other red underwear. And wearing red underwear on New Year's Eve will bring you luck. And I am going to have a New Year's Eve party where to get in, you're going to have to prove you have red underwear. And I don't need to see the whole thing. Could be just a sort of dip of the shoulder or whatever, but it's going to require everybody to have red underwear so they have luck.
Did you know that I was wearing the red underwear you gifted me this past Christmas? Did you know that?
Your pants are ripped. Yes, I could see.
That's a kilt, Mark. It's a kilt.
It's a kilt. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to see that?
Yes. Don't you see that? I put on the front of them. Stop looking, Mark. All right. Number 4.
Number 4.
This one is that all-night Christmas Eve celebration in Argentina, where the friends and families, they stay hours and hours at the table, eating, spending time together. Then you open the gifts at midnight when the radio has the countdown to midnight. And then there are fireworks, and you have those globitos that you set off and they go. Then once the gifts are open, the party continues with celebrating and dancing and more friends and more neighbors. They come over and it ends supposedly at dawn, 5 a.m. I mean, think about it, Mark. A long dinner, late night fireworks, presents, and dancing to dawn. What an incredible night. And I just want to try that at least once. I know I can't do it all the time because I don't think I can stay up to 5 a.m. But one time I'm going to do it.
Why not? I mean, I guess, maybe we should consider a trip to Argentina.
I know.
And
Asado and the long night.
Oh my God. What a great time. I mean, I bet you we could find that. I mean, I think pulling that, I'd rather go someplace where someone will do that all for me because I don't want to cook all that food. So
I think they'd really appreciate that dress too in Argentina.
I think so too. So I think we go to Argentina next year for Christmas. My number 4, there's a province in Thailand where a herd of elephants deliver Christmas presents to children. This is an annual tradition and use elephants dressed as Santa. And I think about our mission and what we start to do and try to share these customs from different parts of the country. And I just found this one to be so sweet and so tender. And elephants dressed as Santa coming in with Christmas packages on their backs or wherever. So this one really spoke to me. I hate to go to drinks, but there's a drink called Delirium Noel that's out at Christmas time every year. And they have a special Delirium Noel glass. And it is dressed with elephants dressed as Santa. And so now after reading this, going back and through and evaluating and reading these again, I'm like, I got to do a little more research on that.
I want to see that one. And what an imprint on the locale. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's someplace exotic when they're having elephants dress up like Santa.
Number 3.
Ironically, Mark, my 3rd pick is from Thailand as well, but it's not the elephants. What I like in Thailand is they have that Christmas star parade where they put star lanterns, they put them on windows, balconies, on the roofs. They have giant floats. And then also all of the locals gather and they all carry, and all of these are to represent the Star of Bethlehem.
That's right.
But I just thought about it, like a whole crowd of people with their giant glittering star lanterns weaving through the streets on Christmas Eve. Just the concept of that neighborhood night parade, it sounds very appealing to me.
Yeah, it's bringing community together.
Yes, I love it.
Which is great to do at the Christmas season. My number 3, well, we have an overlap here. It is dressing like goats.
Oh, good. Good. I need someone to come with me.
Dude, I will do it. We should
leave here tonight and do it. I think we should be doing it. You don't even have to stop at Christmas time. Just dress like a goat and go beg for alcohol.
It's kind of fun to do it at June, but I think during the Christmas season, I don't know. We can start in my community. I think most people will at least open the door. Probably get to about 5 houses and got this one guy who'll call the police on anything. But I
think we'd be very selective of the doors we go to, because you and I know some people that we'll have a crowd of goats with us going around, and we probably won't even make it any more doors. We'll just be outside in the street drinking alcohol.
Oh my gosh. But that was my number 3. So we had one crossover there.
Number 2.
All right. My number 2, I suspect it's on your list. I don't know how any American could not pick this one, but it's the La Trêve des Confesseurs. It's the confectioner's truce in France. It's that week-long period where they take a break from politics, sports, work to set aside their differences. And I'm like, as an American, how can you not appreciate a moratorium with no discussion of politics at the holidays? I mean, I want this now.
Right. Well, I'm going to go a little bit out of order and tell you that's my number 1.
I figured I knew it was going to be on your list. How could it not?
I mean, we covered that one way in the beginning. I think
it was
the first
show.
one.
Yeah, it was the first show.
And I've talked about that multiple times about like what a great thing to have. So yeah, I mean, so we have another cross.
So I see this at your house. Like you and Sue get into it, and you're like, confectioner's truce. We can't fight. No fighting in our house.
Exactly. We never fight, Bob. Talking about, honey, if you're listening, you're always right, and I know it. You've told me, so I know it. Well, so my number 1. My number 2 is the same one from Argentina. So we had a lot of crossover here, Bob.
Well, I still haven't revealed my number 1, but
no, you haven't.
So you had the Argentina, the all-night festival.
For number 2.
Yeah, and then you had the confectioner's truce.
For number 1.
And so here I struggled because I kind of almost thought about having the confectioner's truce number 1, but there was one other that just was too beautiful a sentiment.
Number one.
Number 1.
This is the one in the Netherlands on Christmas Eve where the children light candles in the cemetery at the graves of the Canadian soldiers who gave their lives really to liberate the country in World War II. And if you think about it, this is a beautiful sentiment to me where you find that generations of children, so now they've been doing it since the 40s, so they're on to like the 3rd or 4th generation since, and they're honoring soldiers from the past. Right. Who have lost their lives protecting the Netherlands from the Nazis. And I'm like, that was too beautiful to pass up.
It is very beautiful. And yeah, I mean, because it happened almost right at the end of the war. Yeah. And so.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Weren't they liberated just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so it was like one of the last battles. And gosh, wouldn't it be cool to think that 30 or 40 years from now, when, I mean, you still have, some of the greatest generations still living, right? You're still World War II veterans that are in our lives, but, that's getting less and less. But I'd love to think 50 years from now, when World War II is now 100 years ago, that they're still doing that because it's being passed. Like you said earlier, it's being passed down. And this is what a great lesson to be able to say, like, hey, we're going to go to this memorial and we're going to honor these men and women who died. And here's why it's important. So,
and it's almost a great one. And I think it's a great lesson for the kids to learn. You're not only honoring these war heroes, but honoring the dead, what I mean? And reflecting maybe on the people that you've lost in your life and, and setting a candle out. I mean, it's beautiful.
It is. I just want to go on record that the Polish wafer.
Everyone was waiting, and in fact, I thought you were gonna. I thought you had to. I thought your family's out there sitting on different sides of the room, seeing which way you were going to pronounce it.
Yeah, I mean, Oplotki, but it just feels like, it's because it was too close, and I knew about it. So I really tried to think, what did I learn over the last year? And some of these that I think that I shared tonight, that was a big part of my influence. Like if I knew something, maybe I didn't necessarily consider it. So,
Mark, maybe if one of our listeners matches either one of our lists, the number ones on each one of our lists, we give them like a goat costume and invite them to join us on our tour of the neighborhoods.
Oh my gosh. Well, Bob, this has been a lot of fun. I mean, we still have music left to do. We still have our interview with Alonzo. Now, let's go put some champagne in the ice, right? Or go have the audience go put some champagne in ice. We're going to leave you on the edge of your seats. And we've had multiple inquiries from CNN and from ET about what our top 5 are. We're not going to say anything. And there's no gift bag under your seats, but you'll find out the top 5 songs and movies. But you're going to have to wait for another 2 weeks. So tune in on June 25th for the second half celebration of the Festive Foreign Film Fans Anniversary Show. And so thank you for joining us.
See you in 2 weeks.
Actually, we're done. Done.
It's over. It's over.
It's over, kaput, finito. It's over. It's over. Over.
This has been a Way Sound Studio production.
And sound engineering on our show is by Jake Fontana.